Good evening, folks. Welcome to another edition of Grumpy Old Spurs. This week, we will be hoping to keep this show on YouTube, won't we, Dave? After last week's faux pas, is that the right word? You're the sort of like wordsmith in here, mate. Would that be right?
I can only apologise to the fact that I've now been involved in, I think, 2 episodes that we've had to pull off air. This one and one on the cheese room last year we had to pull off air. So I just want to say to everyone, sorry about that. It will be on the box set of the Grumpy. When we release the box set in 2029, a special bonus extra will be the episode. Gibbo, you're obviously a big fan of the US sitcom Friends. You've got the box set, haven't you?
Mate, I literally had, well, I never personally, my wife had every single one, mate. So yeah, massive fan.
So you are a massive fan of Friends, are you?
So if the 5 people who are currently watching live could tell some of their friends, then the box set, we could end up selling like 10 or 20 copies.
Smooth. That was very smooth. So good evening to you, Gibbo. Let's not forget the ethos of the show. I mean, look at this. Look at this. Okay. And we've already been trolled. We've already been trolled.
Have we?
Yeah. Kerry says, surely no grumpiness tonight. We're on a roll. We're Kerry, always grumpy.
This is what we do. So when Spurs play and I'm walking around the house chuntering, my wife is like, can't you go and talk to some of your stupid football friends and get it off your chest and go moaning? So
hang on a second. Is your wife saying I'm one of your stupid football friends?
Well, she doesn't think you're stupid, but you know what? She just like, go and talk to them. Stop chuntering around this house. HG, if obviously HG hasn't been watching, Davo, I always wear my glasses, don't I? I always wear my specs.
Yeah, he always wears his specs.
Unfortunately, I have to try and help do the comments, so I need to be able to see them. I'm not doing it to attempt to look intelligent.
And just on the grumpy theme tonight, I've got, as I said, I'm wearing this T-shirt. I've got 2 titles, Dad and Grumpy, and I rock them both. There we go. Grumpy is as grumpy do. But thanks to everyone for joining us. We're up to 7. We've got an action-packed show of curmudgeonless tonight, if that's the right word. Yeah. And, we're meant to be, we might be having a special guest join us. We don't know yet. That's showbiz for you. But, let's get into it. Let's see where we can be grumpy.
Let's find
3. Go on.
Yeah. Let's find the grumpiness out of the 3rd win in a row, Dave. Let's see if we can see what we can conjure up.
Yes, let's do that. Where would you like to start with? Ipswich.
Well, I thought the first minute. Should we start at the start? That's something we can. That's something we can get into. Bit chaotic, wasn't it, mate? Having it saved off the line, literally seconds into the game. Once again, high press, lose the ball. They're in on goal. That's what you're thinking. Here we go. Mate, I had a text off who could be our guest. I had a message off him. Literally, I was watching it on a stream. So I thought, I can't be that far behind. And I just had a message off him saying, oh, my God. And I thought, here we go. The game hadn't even kicked off on the stream I was watching. And I thought, but no, it was obviously just chaos, wasn't it?
I mean, what do you want to say about Vicario? Because, I've kind of been moaning about him not being very calm and things like that. But you know what? He's done all right since he's come back in.
He's the best. I think what he's proved is obviously we all said Kinski was going to be the number 1 keeper for the next 20 years after the Liverpool game we won, didn't we? But I think reality's hit home, and I think you realise that Vicario is undoubtedly our number 1. He's a good keeper. He's a pretty decent keeper, and I think he does make a difference, even like on those corners and stuff like that, where we used to think he was a little bit chaotic and not as calm. He's still, I'd say he definitely is the number 1. Well, he is the number 1, isn't he? Not whether I say it or not, but I think he's deserves a little bit more credit than maybe some have given him.
And I'd like to give a bit of credit to Vicario's mum, who seems to go to all the games, and I think his mum and dad are there, and they've got Vicario. They've got Vicario scarves, right? And they're getting stuck into it. But my question is, does Vicario have a brother or a sister? Because surely they'd have a half scarf for the Vicario and the brother or the sister. The brother or sister must be feeling a bit upset about that.
Only if the brother or sister played for Spurs, wouldn't they?
Yeah, but how would you feel?
If the sister is just not just a normal person, obviously they mean more to them. But if the sister's just his sister who works at like Lidl or Aldi or do you know what I mean? Or at the local factory or mechanic or something like that, then would they say this half is Vicario, my son, who plays for Tottenham Hotspur in Italy, and this is my daughter or son who's currently stacking the shelves at Aldi?
In a Lidl outfit or an Aldi outfit?
Whatever, yeah. I think Lidl's more sort of you can tell a Lidl outfit, can't you? You can tell the colours more.
I think there's a favoritism going on here. I'd be upset if I was Vicario's brother or sister. I'd be a bit pissed off about that, to be honest with you.
Well, it is what it is.
It is what it is. But anyway, so we had a bad start, but then what happened for the first goal, Gibbo? What did happen?
Long ball by Archie Gray over the top. Sonny 1-on-1 with Godfrey. Is it Godfrey? It is Ben Godfrey, isn't it? He absolutely skinned him, didn't he? I mean, don't get me wrong. Godfrey hasn't played many games this season, I don't think, but Son literally tore him a new one, didn't he? He didn't know what to do with him. Put it across, and there's your mate Brennan to tap home another goal from like 2 yards.
How many goals has he got for the season now?
HG was in the chat. I doubt he is anymore. And obviously, he's one of HG's favourites, so he would definitely know how many he's got. But I think he's got about 15 goals.
Yeah. And how many assists?
Oh, I doubt he's got many assists. Probably 3 or 4, something like that.
So really and truly, I think it's time, Gibbo. That you make your apology to Brendan Johnson here live.
What am I apologising for?
I think you need to apologise for the kind of the hate towards him, this, that, and the other. We look at this great graphic that's been prepared by the creative department at the lads at Tottenham Towers. Here we go. Here's a quote: "Bloody Johnson arriving at a back post for the up team time to tap in. Waste of space, according to Gary of Harlow." And by the way, that's not a little dig at HG. That's a tweet from someone who is saying that there's hate for Brennan. Here he is at the back post to tap it in. He got 2 goals.
Yeah.
So is it time for you, Gibbo, to now you've got an audience of 18 people. When we get the playback on this and it goes around the world and we get 1 billion views as we do for each show, this is your time to apologise to Brennan Johnson. Off you go.
No, you won't get me a pop. No, I don't think. I think he is very good at arriving at the back post, but I just don't think he's a good player, mate. And this isn't like. I mean, like, we are grumpy, aren't we? So we're allowed to do this, but I don't think he's a good player. I thought that I said that when he came to Spurs, or literally before he came, when he was still a Forest player. He is very good at arriving sort of late and getting in those positions to do that. He's brilliant in that. But I just don't think his all-round game is that great, mate. And I think if you want to be a better team, I think you'll probably need someone in that position whose all-round game offers a little bit more. Now, am I glad he's scoring the goals? Yeah, of course I am. But I'm not going to turn around just because he scored another couple of goals and change my mind on him. That's my opinion on him, mate. But
what have you got to say to our good friend King Hoddle?
Well, I've never said he's just a tapping merchant, have I? I've never made that statement about him. I've just said I don't think he's a great player. Simple as that. So I'm not going to apologise when I've still got the same opinion of him. Put 2 in on Saturday. Really pleased he did that. But I think his overall game isn't what I'd like to see from a winger out in that position. I think, to be fair, he he seemed to work not a little bit harder. That's wrong, but sort of pressed a little bit better and stuff on Saturday. But mate, I don't think before he got injured, and you'd see the other team attacking Spurs when we'd lost the ball high up the pitch, and then you'd sort of see if they'd missed a chance, whatever. You'd sort of see Johnson, who's quick as fuck, ambling back into the picture, and I just don't, mate. I'm not going to apologise. Like I keep saying, I think there are better players out there. I'm glad he's scoring. And we can say the same about Lucas, can't we? I thought Lucas was rubbish, but he'll be. I mean, he scored the hat trick.
Oh, I thought he meant Bergvall. I thought he meant Bergvall.
No, Lucas Moura scored the hat trick in Amsterdam. Brilliant, always be remembered. But apart from that, load of old rubbish. But like I said, I've never called him a tapping merchant. I'm not going to apologise for my opinions on him. I believe the same of him now as I did when we signed him. And that's it, mate. I'm sticking with that.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone watching around the world. And there's a little bit of a jibe there. The playback might be deleted. That's a bit. Come on, Kerry.
Kerry.
That's not very nice, is it?
We're just not very good with technology, are we, Dave?
No, we're not. I mean, do me a favour. Anyway, but
on Brenzo then. What are your thoughts on Brenzo?
Brenzo?
Yeah.
Is that Brenzo? Okay. This is what my thoughts are. All right. First of all, our top showbiz friend in Vienna and yourself have been against him from the get-go. And I said, give him time. Look at Darren Anderton. Look at Chris Waddle. They all made slow starts to their Tottenham career, and they blossomed and shined like a flower in the spring. However, my last straw with him was the home North London derby when he did not take anybody on. I got annoyed when Kulu and Maddison kept passing the ball side to side to each other. And the Gooners, they just toyed with us. And I got annoyed with Brennan. But then he got a bit of social media abuse, which I don't agree with.
Yeah, out of order.
Out of order. Then he was back. He got some goals. He got some more tap-ins. I thought that's okay. But I just think what I'm looking for my wide players is beat the man, it sounds like John Barnes rap, get to the touch line and get a crossing, right?
Hold and give.
Yeah, you've got to move, whatever, right? All of that.
Yeah.
So I just think that I'd have him as an impact sub. But the problem that we've got with our team in the last 5 years is we talk a lot about they'd be great off the bench, but you need people to start. So
yeah.
And at 40 million, I do think that the fact of the matter is, really and truly, you should be doing a lot more. Good evening to our good friend Elena. I hope I pronounced your name right, or Eleanor. I get the goals. He does his time, runs the back post well, but his passing is awful. His strength of in possession is embarrassing. His pressing is awful. Oh, hang on a minute. His tracking back is atrocious, and his link-up play is just not good enough. I hope you're not a teacher and that's the way that you mark your school kids' books there, because that is harsh, don't you reckon?
No.
You're an lineman, aren't you? So it's official tonight. We are going to issue a press statement. There is no apology from Gibbo to Brennan. So that was
decent squad player, isn't he, Dave? I think he's a good squad player. But like you said, if we're building a squad and we actually do buy these players to play in the first team and he becomes a squad player, no issue with that.
Are you saying buying a ready-to-go player?
Don't start putting words in my mouth, Dave.
Are you down the protest?
Less of that.
Are you at the next protest? Gibbo's joined change for Tottenham tonight. There's no apology to Brennan, and he's joined change for Tottenham, and we are only 15 minutes in.
Well, here we go then, Dave. Let's flip reverse it, as the Blazing Squad said. Let's flip reverse it.
Don't you quote the Blazing Squad to me, Gibbo.
And talk about Son.
Who?
Because Son Heung-min Son.
Oh yeah.
We've obviously both been over. I wouldn't say critical. I think we've tried to look at sort of the bigger picture with Son and, you know, what's gone wrong at times. Opinions on Son at the weekend?
I've been told on Twitter that I don't deserve Son. I don't deserve Sonny. I don't deserve good things in my life. And, you know, the fact of the matter is, and I've also been told I've got an obsession with selling him as well. So there we go. Apparently, I'm obsessed with selling Son. I don't deserve good. You don't deserve good things in your life. Nice. You don't deserve nice things in your life. You don't. Okay.
For having an opinion, Dave.
I don't deserve. I shouldn't have an opinion. I shouldn't be on Twitter. I shouldn't do podcasts or this because I don't deserve it. So I'm going to give some Sonny love, and I'll do it again.
Go on.
All right. I took my boys to their first ever game at the old stadium. So it was a really, I'll be a little bit emotional here with you, Gibbo. I'm sorry about this.
God, I hate that. But
I'm sorry. I might hug you. Yeah. I might hug you. I might cry. I might cry. Taking my kids to their first ever game is a special moment. I'm sure that when you took your family to the first ever game, special moment, right?
And obviously, I can appreciate this.
And obviously, our journey there was a bit longer than most people's, but we got there, took the boys. Sonny scored his first goal in the Premier League against Palace, and it was a great day, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I like nice play on words, that Phil. And then my dad's name was Phil. There we go, serendipity. So I've always liked Son. All right, liked him a lot. I do think over time, frankly, with that team of Eriksen, Dele, and Harry to a little bit. The big games, the finals, didn't turn up, although he did a great job at Ajax. Right. However, in the last season of Conte, where I know that our good friend in Vienna said Sonny's no good with his back to goal and this, that, and the other, he was still missing snatch chances, right? I just think that he has declined as a player. I think as a club, we are no good. We are no good at selling players. Liverpool do it really well. They've replaced that front three really of Salah, Firmino, and Mane. They've replaced Mane. They got 40 million for him and this, that, and the other. And Phil has raised a very, very good point here.
Phil's 100% right.
Phil is 100% right. I'm a nostalgist, as you can see on the things on the wall and this, that, and the other. I'm a nostalgist, but I'm not sentimental. I didn't want Gareth Bale 3. I thought Gareth Bale 2 was shite. And it's got nothing to do with Mourinho. I didn't want Christian Eriksen coming back again. You know, people say get Eriksen back. All of this. I don't want, and here's another one, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want Poch back either. It never works when you go back. I don't want Poch back. I'm sorry.
Apart from Mourinho went back and won the league, didn't he? Apart from that.
Mourinho?
Didn't he go back to Chelsea and win the league?
Yeah, all right, good point. But it never really works. Okay, all right. I don't think it works when it comes back. Yeah. I mean, I'll go off on the tangent. I really love listening to View from the Lane. I really love Danny Kelly as a broadcaster. But he said that, you know, he'd love to see Harry come back. And he says it's worked when strikers have come back to Tottenham before. Let me tell you, when Teddy Sheringham came back for the second time, he started off well. But Sheringham at United was one of 4 very good strikers who were rotated. And Hoddle played him to death because he wouldn't play Sergei Rebrov. When Keane came back from his childhood dream club number 1, he wasn't very good. When Defoe came back, he was all right. Didn't Chimbonda come back again?
I can't remember Chimbonda.
I thought he did. Back.
But you're talking, Dave, about that.
But here comes Kerry. Kerry's very... Yeah, Kerry's not happy with us. So.
Well, he's doing okay at the minute, isn't it? I think it's over a period of time, when it.
But, he is doing okay. But so the question is, here we go with Son.
Yeah,
I don't deserve nice things in life, and I don't. I'll have a tin of baked beans for dinner tonight. Right at the end of the day, we should have got rid of him. And Sonny did well. He looked livelier because he hasn't played during the week, which is good. Yeah. But he was up against Ben Godfrey.
Yeah, and Ben Godfrey hasn't played many minutes, so I'd not expect it. You'd have thought if Son can get him one-on-one, and Son's a little bit fresher and a little bit more sort of, and sort of has better fitness, that he would do that. But he tired out the second half, didn't he, Dave?
He
I mean,
did tire
it
out.
sounds like we're sort of digging Son out, and we're not. I think it's but in the past, over the like a certain period of time, Son is fantastic for Spurs. I mean, for me, I'm happy keep him, but he cannot be. From next season, he cannot be the first name on the team sheet in that position if we want to progress.
No.
If the team want to progress, he cannot be the first choice. And then if you get somebody who can take the minutes off him, then it will come down to possibly a business decision: is do we take money for him now? None of us want that. I mean, in an ideal world for me, we keep him around and he accepts the role he's going to play, and the manager sort of says, look, this is what we're going to do. We're going to use you as and when we can. We've got your experience around the club, your enthusiasm, and we do that. But, like as you say, we've never been very good at those succession plans, have we? So,
and then sorry to cut across.
Yeah,
I think this is a really. I mean, I know that King and Phil are talking to each other in the chats, but I think this is a really good comment, actually, King. Is sentimentality part of the Spursy spectrum, Gibbo?
Could well be. I mean, Spursy. Yeah, but I think it's part of the Spurs DNA. I don't even like that word. Do you know what I mean? I think it is part of it, but because we're just used to that, aren't we, Dave? We're not used to having to really make tough decisions on players. It's usually either taken out of our hands because the bigger club comes in from and they want to move.
Mm-hmm.
Or Ledley sort of had to just retire, didn't he, really? Ledley had to retire, so...
and so there we go. He just needs to be managed. So, again, I'm sorry that I have, that's the thing that we say. That's the thing that we say, is that's what we're going to point out. This is what we do on Grumpy Old Spurs. We'll say the uncomfortable things. We will point them out. Yeah. We've already spoken up for Vicario's brother or sister tonight. Gibbo has said he's not apologising to Brendan Johnson, and we're still going to say that we love Sonny, but it's time that that's right.
This is how I see it.
Yes.
And here's one for you, Dave. Like you spoke about your son and taking him in. Son scored a goal. First game I took my lad to.
Both sons, just to be clear, I took both sons.
Both sons, one side each you had on your scarf. But the first game my lad started supporting Tottenham was when we beat Chelsea 5-2 at the Bridge. Not at the Bridge, sorry, at White Hart Lane under Poch.
That was his first game you took him to?
No, not the first game I took him to. He can remember seeing me shouting and going mad, and that's the game he decided to support Spurs. First game I took him to was 3-0 at White Hart Lane. We beat Man United.
Ooh, nice.
Alderweireld, your mate Lamella. Now, Zach, and we both had an affinity for him.
Was that City or United?
United.
There you go.
Hull's in charge. Dele Alli. My Zach absolutely adored Dele Alli. He was his idol.
Mm-hmm.
And because he did, and he was so enthusiastic about him, so did I. But when it came to that point, and it did come to that point, and I came to this point sort of months before a lot of people. Like we used to argue about it, me and Zach, and I never used to argue about it with people on social media or who I dealt with, but I just used to say, I think he's done. I think we need to move him on. If he gets a run of games and if he he can get his form back, if a new manager comes in, or if we just play him here, and I'm like, no. I think if you look at him, watch him play, he's done it, Spurs. He either need to. I didn't know all the ins and outs behind the scenes and everything that was going on with him, but just as a football Spurs, it was done. And I think that decision with Dele for the club and on a footballing perspective probably should have been made 6 months to a year before it was made.
And it was at that time that if we'd have bought Jack Grealish, rather than offering Marcus Edwards and a packet of crisps.
It was Josh Onoma and 3 million. I always get this shit off my family.
Is it Marcus Edwards or Josh Onoma?
Josh Onoma and 3 million, wasn't it?
Yeah. So if we'd have bought him in, then they'd have given Ericsson, Dele, Sonny a kick up the arse. Coco Lamella would have been hanging around in the treatment room. And that's when you buy the potential players, when you've got a decent first team squad.
Yeah.
And did it. Not like we've done last summer. However, we've gone off on a bit of a tangent. We've managed to extract grumpiness out of a 4-1 away win. Yeah. So let's talk about a few other things of that game. First of all, Kulu's goal.
Yeah.
Kulu's goal. Come on.
That is trademark Kulu, wasn't it? Trademark Kulu.
Goal of the season for Tottenham so far, would you say?
No. It was a great finish, wasn't it? I'm trying to think of.
Has Timo Werner scored a goal this season? Yeah, he did in the cup against City.
He scored against City, yeah.
Yeah, that's second goal. That's got to be up there for goal of the season, just because of the fact he scored a goal.
Yeah,
so
well,
it's got to be up there.
Collector's item.
No, but it's in the top. It's in the contender for goal of the season. The fact that he scored a goal. Okay.
Basuma scored a thunderbolt against someone, didn't he? Mm-hmm. Can't remember who. That was a good finish, but yeah. Good goal, mate. Goal of the season, I'm not sure, but I can't remember. But it was a very good goal. But like you said, he looked tired before then, didn't he? I think I put in the group. Then I had to say, obviously I've jinxed it. He just looked knackered, but great goal.
Just want to say hello to Holly.
Hi, Holly.
Good evening. Hello, Holly. We're still grumpy. But look at that from King. Classic Kulu shift to the left and cut at the wand of the left. So as I was moaned and grumped about him last summer, I said if he got a decent offer in for him, I'm sick inside of him coming in on his left foot, waiting 10 years for the cross to come in. So this is my apology to Kulu. That was a beautiful goal on the weekend. A beautiful goal. I loved it. And there we go. Let's do some mentions for others. How did you went? Our good friend Tiny Dancer. How do you think he went?
Oh yeah. I thought he was good again. A little bit shaky going on the left. I thought Matey Archie Gray might have started on the left, but he grew into it. Didn't he? He's quick, mate. He's quick, which is what we need with the way we play. Mm-hmm. He gets stuck in. He's good in the air. We've got a centre back who can win headers, and
what did you just say?
Yeah, a centre back that can win a header.
Really?
Yeah.
We've got. Wow, what sorcery is this?
Right.
Can I give some Tiny Dancer love?
You can.
I bloody like Tiny Dancer. I even liked it in the 4-0 debacle when he came out of the defence of the ball like Graham Roberts like. I like him. He could be a captain, actually.
Do I think he's a world beater? No, I don't. But I think he is a very decent centre-back. And when we're talking about squad, brilliant squad player.
Do you think Romero is a world beater?
I think Romero can be a world beater. I know Romero has been poor at times this season, but this is another thing, like we say about opinions, mate. I think a fully fit Romero, fully focused, fully at it, is arguably our best player, not just our best centre back, our best player.
Mm-hmm.
I know
when's the
international?
When's the international break? It's coming up, isn't it?
Yeah, so he should be fit in the next 7 days, Romero, they're saying.
Yeah, I mean...
I don't think it's a coincidence, though. Come on.
No.
But
King Hoddle had to ruin it. I'm getting cult figure vibes of Danzo, a la Lamella. No, King. No. Lamella, no. That's another thing about Lamella. We're not going down the Lamella route, but here we go.
Yeah, but
Kev... Eleanor, who is very down about Brennan using the words atrocious and things like that, very harsh. Elena.
She's very impressed with Kev.
She's very impressed with Kev. So there we go. I like him actually. I like him so far, Tiny Dancer. There's
Yeah.
a few other mentions that we need to do.
What about Louis' brother? Yeah.
Hang on. What? Who? What?
Louis Spence. You don't know Louis Spence is, do you?
What from? Who's Louis Spence? Remind me.
He was some sort of like dancer or like very flamboyant. Obviously you don't know. He was like
Mate. I was at this thing called In Bed by 10 Saturday afternoon. It was a 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. It's like this kind of rave thing, and I was you'd have seen me dancing, mate. Oof.
Yeah,
unbelievable. But anyway, Jed Spence, go on.
Top player, mate. And obviously with Ange keeping him, getting him angry, and
the Aussie way. It's the Aussie way.
Winding him up and letting him go. I think we've got a real gem on our hands. Can play both fullbacks.
Yes.
Should get an England call up, though I'll probably be glad if he never, because players tend to go away and play for their country and then get injured. So we don't want him getting injured. But just as good on both fullbacks. Defends better than I thought he would. Attacks really well. Really glad he scored. Really glad.
I'm been surprised on the upside about how good he is defensively. Actually, seriously.
Yeah, that's the same here. Yeah, King Oddle knows.
Well, I don't know who he is. Sorry about that.
I'll send you. I'll find a TikTok for you later. You must be on TikTok, Dave.
Am I on TikTok?
Yeah.
Do I look like I'm 13? No, I'm not on bloody TikTok. Are you on TikTok?
No, not at the minute.
Do you do your memes and gifs of you dancing in the high street and put it on TikTok?
No.
Is that what you do? I think a couple of other mentions as well because let's do it.
Yeah.
Bergvall.
Yeah, he's all right, isn't he? Gets around the pitch.
Is he a 6 or an 8 or a 10? As in where he should play?
Mate,
not looks wise out of 10, just to be clear.
Yeah, staying within the PC boundaries once again.
Yeah. I mean, he's a good-looking bloke. I mean, whatever.
Whatever tickles your fancy. But I think at the minute, mate, an 8.
He's an 8.
Young kid. Yeah, for me, yeah. But I think him and Bentancur are an 8. I think they're both 8s. I don't think we really play with a 6, or we haven't got one, have we?
We need one.
Yeah, definitely, mate. He seems to improve as the season goes on. He gets about. If he can add goals to his game, more goals to his game, it's a bonus. But then, but I said this about Sarr as well at the start of last season. So I'm keeping my powder dry with Bergvall. Very pleased with his progression. Just see how it goes. Don't want to put any pressure on him, and I don't want.
So you're kind of giving some parental praise here. But it's a guarded parental praise.
Yeah.
You've done a great job
of keeping him grounded.
You're just keeping it.
Yeah.
It's like the Aussie way, really, with Spence.
What was that? Like just outcasting him. Outcast him. And then when you need him, bring him back in the fold and talk.
It's the Aussie way. And Gibbo, we don't just throw this show together. Speaking of the Aussie way, it's time for our weekly Ange quote time. Ready?
You do it? Yeah. Are you going to do it in your Australian accent, Dave? Are you going to cough and look at the floor, or are you just going to do it in an Aussie accent?
So it's the Australian on steering clear of the relegation worries.
Okay.
It goes to show, mate, how ridiculous a notion, mate, it was to start with people saying we're safe with 12 points to go, you galah, and people are talking about that's the hysteria, mate. I sound like a duck, don't I? And that's all framed about putting pressure on me and the club. So there we go. I think I did a better one last week. So basically, here he is. He's saying that, we had the Villa FA Cup game as a marker for us, which we lost. But anyway.
Yeah.
But it's not, well, what's he saying? His primary concern is to protect the players and support them, apart from Spence, because we've got to treat them mean. All right.
Yeah.
But they're not happy in the league. Obviously, it's unacceptable. We've got an apology to address that, mate. Hang on, one last one, mate. Sean Dyche. There we go. So, what do you think about? Are you now? Hang on a minute, Gibbo. Are you Ange in or Ange out this week, Gibbo?
I'm the same, mate. I'm I'm not. It's the same as I'm not gonna. I didn't make my opinion on Ange based on when we started losing and we got the injuries. Obviously, Leon isn't on tonight, but I started having my doubts about Ange into last season. He's won the last 3 games. Brilliant. 'Cause that's all you can ask.
Yeah.
We're winning. Now, Brentford, here we go. Grumpy old Spurs, we're back. Brentford, good result. We had to dig in, and we came away with the points. We rode our luck, and we came away with the points. Man United, rubbish. Man United are rubbish. Even with a few players back at home, I expected to beat them, or I thought we should beat them. Ipswich, apart from Dilap, who's a tiny player, and Hutchinson, who plays up top with him, or in an attacking role, both good players. They are a championship side. They have won 3 games this season. Another game, we won it emphatically, but really I'm looking at we should be going there and beating them. And we did. So he's won those 3 games. Now, the acid test are the next 3 games in the league. We have City at home. We've got Bournemouth at home and Fulham away, I believe. The next 3 games. Now, they will be tough games. All 3 of those will be tough. So let's see then. So I'm not, I'm not going to turn around and say, oh, Ange is brilliant now. I'll still have the same reservations when we play against better teams. So, it is what it is. But when he's winning games, that's what we want, isn't it? Or, I know it's down on the players as well, but if what happened, if we lose the next 3 or fail to win the next 3 league games, I'll have turned around after this 3 and go, Ange, he's brilliant now. Then we don't win those 3, and it's like, oh, he's got to go now. Mate, I want to see it over a longer period of time from him.
So, Gibbo, let's say we lose the next 3 games. Will you be at the next change for Tottenham March?
No.
Okay. Let's say that Gibbo...
Mate, if I was going to games, if I went to more games, which at some point I'll be able to do again, I may consider it, Dave. I'd probably think about it a bit more and decide if I wanted to do it. But no.
Gibbo, with the millions of pounds that we make from doing these shows, and you buy yourself a box at Tottenham, yeah?
Yeah.
Once you bought your box at Tottenham, would you go on the change for Tottenham March?
No, because I'm not going to go on a change for Tottenham March and then go and sit and eat in corporate, am I? And have my pictures took in corporate, and they're like, look, here he is. He comes in marching with us. Next minute, he's sat eating with Levy lover.
If we had a box, a grumpy old Spurs box at Tottenham,
we should do in the corner.
Would we be allowed to have the grumpy on the wallpaper? Could we ask for that?
Oh, well, yeah, because we could have it because we're not. We just are grumpy, aren't we? Regardless. But what we need is like them 2 guys off the Muppets. That's what we need in that corner. And when a goal goes in, the sky could pan to us, couldn't they? And we go, oh, here we go, turned again, midfield, leaving space everywhere, full back tie.
There we go. That's what we could do. We'll get a grumpy old Spurs box. A good point here before we move on, and we'll move on shortly to City.
Yeah.
Tell
your mate Johnny.
Tell people
Johnny Muppets tell.
I don't know. Even I don't get that one. But tell some people on Twitter saying we should sell him. He's been a flop. He's got to go.
Said it about Kulusevski though, didn't they? Can you remember that? Kulusevski first came on.
Yeah, I thought he looked a bit like Waddle. Kulusevski.
Well,
as in bits, you think he's a bit slow, whatever. So here we go. Tell.
Go on. What was your take on him, Dave? You go first.
Look, I think he struggled a bit, but my dream, I've got the Spence Johnson axis on the right, and on the left hand side, I've got who have I got on the left hand side? Destiny and Tell on the left hand side. I'd play Tell on the left. I'd like to see Tell on the left. Son, bring him in whenever. We talked about that, but I'd love to see a front 3 of Tell, Solanke, Johnson or Porro on the right. That would be my dream.
I'd like to see a front three of, and not because I don't want to see Son. I'd just like to see given a go Solanke, because I think we've really missed him.
Mm-hmm.
Tau on the left, Hulu on the right. But like the way we play doesn't really help Tal as that centre forward, does it? Like Solanke is a lot more robust.
Yes.
Bigger, stronger, drops in and gets on the ball.
Mm.
I'm not even sure Tal is a centre forward.
I don't think he is.
But, you know, he's...
I'd play him as a front. If we ever played 3-5-2 and a 2 up top, I'd have him.
Yeah, you could
do that.
Solanke, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think the test will be when Solanke comes back. But the one thing I will say, and we haven't had a big sample size of it yet, I still wouldn't be surprised if come the end of the season he was a body we needed to get in. You know, he'll go off and do what he wants to do, and Spurs will move on because it will be a big summer for us again. So
is it a big summer coming up for us?
Yeah, I think this year will be a big summer.
Is this year going to be? Do we need to? So the things that we need to clip up for this show is you're not apologising to Brennan. Yeah. You're not joining Change for Tottenham. I don't deserve good things in life. Yeah. And it's a big exclusive. It's a big summer coming up for Tottenham.
Yeah. But with your Change for Tottenham thing, I don't want you getting my name dragged through the mud. I'm not saying I'm not supporting them. I'm just saying I won't be attending the march, mainly because I won't be there.
You seem to think that I am involved with the upper echelons of Change for Tottenham, Gibbo.
Well, isn't your name been mentioned in dispatches there that you are highly regarded by some of the hierarchy of Change for Tottenham? What with your appearances on 5 Live and TalkSport and stuff, you have a bit of sway with the fan base.
And blankety blank.
Yeah.
I was on blankety blank the other week, campaigning for Change for Tottenham. Anyway, I think it's time to move on. We've got a game coming up. Should we do, in the style of all kind of good social media content that we have? Should we check in on the scores so far tonight?
Yes. Are you going to bring them up, Dave?
I'm not bringing up the scores on the screen. What are the scores going on tonight?
I think Brighton are 1-0 up against Bournemouth.
Right. In the battle of the seaside towns.
Yeah.
Palace. Blimey. Ryan Sessegnon scored.
Has he?
Yeah.
I knew he'd come good at some point.
I've always rated Ryan.
Yeah. We should never go. We are terrible.
Why? We don't deserve HG. We don't deserve good things. Ryan, we're sorry.
We treated him appallingly.
Appallingly. Terrible.
Anyway,
now,
on to Man City.
Let's move on, shall we? Look at that.
Yeah. Look at who? Grumpy old Spur or
look at Pep. Pep's not looking happy.
He's grumpy old City at the minute after the weekend, wasn't he? But how do you see this one going, Dave?
Well, if I get this correctly, if we win, it will be the 6th time this season that we've beaten a team from Manchester.
Yeah.
6th game. Yes, that's right.
And we'll also be 3 points closer to 11th, won't we?
Heady days. 3 points closer to. So
mid-table awaits.
So I think we got a chance here. We're not doing very well.
Yeah.
We don't have a game on the weekend, so we can have another rest after this.
Oh, yeah. Much needed rest. Get players back.
So I think we've got a good chance. We've got to. Does the team pick itself after the weekend?
Well, so what would so I'm going Vicario, Spence.
I'm going Vicario's brother or sister in goal. For balance.
Yeah. Well, I'm going Vicario. I think he's earned his place. But so I'm going Vicario, Udogie, Spence, Tony, and I think if Davis is back, I'd play Davis.
Hang on, what? You want Davis back?
Well, I
Why?
just think a bit of balance. Well, because I think he's left-footed in it. I think we won't get away with not having the cohesion in the back four against City, no matter how badly they're playing.
Hang on a minute.
I would just
Can I just stop you then? When have we ever had cohesion in the back four this season?
Oh no, well, that's what I'm aiming to get, Dave. That's what I'm hoping we can find in this run-in to in the challenge for mid-table, the end of the season challenge for mid-table. I'm hoping we can get there by just finding that bit of cohesion in the back four. Oh well, Archie Gray then. If Davis is out, Archie Gray's playing, isn't he?
Yeah.
I'd play Gray as the left centre back, and I'd play Tony as the right centre back.
All right.
Midfield 3, I'm going...
Full-back stay as they are.
I'm going Spence and Udogie to start. I'm going Bentancur, Bergvall, Maddison.
Right, okay.
Because I just think he keeps hold of the ball better, uses the ball better, and against City, that's what we'll need. And he will probably come off at some point because he never finishes games. Then I'd just... Hopefully, if we're winning, you just get legs on. I'd go.
You're always about the legs, Gibbo.
Always. Yeah. Kulu on the right. Son will play on the left, and Tao down the middle. That's what I think.
Right.
What about you?
I wouldn't disagree with any of that, to be honest with you. You know.
Yeah.
You've got Son. I mean, when is Solanke back?
I heard today, I'm sure somebody will put it up in the comments, that they were talking about in the next 7 days, we're expecting Solanke, Romero, Van der Ven.
I mean, I was going to ask you when our centre-backs, Lord Lucan and Shergar, were turning up. So they're back, are they?
Yeah, so this is a comment here. We're going to keep on knackering Kulu. I agree with that.
You agree with knackering him?
No, I don't agree we should be knackering him. But I think it was John. We were talking last week that should he have played at the weekend? And I said to John, and he'll say, because he needs to play against Man City. And I said, he shouldn't play both, but he will play both and will play him in both games. So, yeah, they will continue to knacker him, King Hoddle. But
you think we're going to win this?
Do I think we're going to win?
No, and we should ask people in the comments. We're up to a record-breaking rump of 26 this week.
I think we've had a few more than that at one point, Dave. We could have been in the 30s. I'm going to send you a message tonight about how I think the game will pan out. And I do not want you... I want you to, next week on our show, tell everyone, or put it up, or you can put it up on one of your little slides. I know you like doing that. Gives you something to do.
On my little slides.
On your slides.
Which gives me something to do. Carry on.
Well, you do like them, don't you? You've really gone to town with these slides. You're really taking time and care over doing them, aren't you?
It's called copy and paste a quote from the web. It's copy and paste a photo from something else. Stick it in. JP's very kindly made the template.
They're so well crafted. I just thought it's something you really enjoyed doing. Like crochet or something like that.
I feel like you're motivating me tonight, Gibbo. Thank you.
But and I'm going to tell you how I think the game's going to go and give you a score prediction. And I want you to put it on the show next week so we can either all laugh at Gibbo, or we can go, Gibbo was right.
So don't send it as a voice note.
No, I won't. I'm going to send it in.
And then what I'll do is I'll make a little slide.
Yeah, if you could, please.
Yeah, maybe if you send me a photo of you, I could stick on the slide as well.
No, we won't be doing that.
No, because I could put the quote next to... Well, I could, to be honest, take a screenshot of you.
Yeah, or just put it next to the grumpy old man.
All right, I'll do that, especially for you.
Yeah.
That's content sorted out there. So let's. Have we got any?
King Hoddle's gone.
King Hoddle.
2-2 or 3-2 win.
Excellent.
What do you think about that, Dave?
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? You
Are
know,
you gonna give us a prediction?
about I reckon. Well, let's have a look at that.
Oh, Wolves back in it. Who do you reckon scored? Let's have a guess. We're gonna say Kuna. Let me have a look.
Don't know. Anyway, prediction.
Gomez.
Prediction. I think we are going to win 3-1. I think City are dodgy at the back, and hopefully we can slice through their midfield. Bergvall with his athleticism. I'm going 3-1. Kerry's agreeing with me. 3-1, and I think we're going to see the unnoticed and unheralded return of Timo Werner off the bench, and he's going to come on. We're at 1 or 10 minutes to go. He's going to score 2 goals. He's going to score a brace. He's going to score. Timo's going to score a brace. He likes scoring against Man City, as in he's done it once. So Timo's scoring a brace.
Yeah,
we're going to win 3-1, and we're going to climb to the lofty heights of 11th.
Yeah.
And this
we're not 11th already.
Oh, are we? All right, 10th then.
Let's have a look. No, we can't. I don't think we can go 10th. I think we're about 7 points off 10th.
Are we? Do you think 10th is out now? The race to 10th, is it still on?
So at the minute, we're 13th, sorry, Dave, because Crystal Palace are currently playing. Right. We are currently, as games are playing out, we are currently 7 points off 10th placed Fulham. So
in our game-changing stadium,
7 points behind 10th place Fulham as things play out.
Did you think when we
really
opened up that
together?
Go on.
I think we could. I think 10th place is up for grabs
in our game-changing stadium.
Yeah. But we're obviously going to win it's all in on Europa now, isn't it? All in on Europa.
When we're going to be doing a live stream from Bilbao in May or June.
Yeah, but mate, I don't think we should do a live stream if we're not there.
What do you mean? That's the whole point of doing it. Oh, I see. So REM is going tomorrow, first time at the lane in 20 years. 505 gang represent coins.
Hope they win for you.
Hope they win for you. Let's just finish off with a few other comments, just some random comments here. King Hoddle, I bloody loved Lamella. No.
Come on.
No.
I thought, like, when we look at, I didn't see that one. All the other comments King Hoddle's put in, you thought, yeah, fair enough. Good comment. That one.
No.
Come on.
And those Trump-style weaves are what make the show great. That's a bit rude, isn't it? It's accusing me of having a Trump-style weave.
I haven't got that much to weave.
Well, I mean, I've just got out of bed to do this. Come on.
So there we go. Woolly hats on next week.
We'll have woolly hats. Here's a few predictions to finish off with. 4-1. Sonny hat-trick, because we don't deserve him.
Yeah. Prove us all. Yeah. Show us so-called fans.
That's right. Kerry, make sure you do your predictions. Here we go. King Hoddle's come back again with bloody Lamella. Come on. He gave it everything. Yeah, he did give it everything.
So would I. So would me.
Yeah. Don't forget, I think there was 2 or 3 times he got injured in the warm-up before the game. Even the first game.
Well, that's what he gave it too much, didn't he? Even in the warm-up.
Yeah. I mean, in the first game of the season, he got injured in the warm-up. I mean, he's had the whole summer to get fit. Okay. I'm not.
And there's you doubting Thomas. Look, he meant deviations in the conversation, not that about sums this show up, doesn't it?
There we go. I think anything else?
Keith's got 3-2. Keith's gone 3-2.
And King is still on Lamella.
So, so when people talk about players and they say, but his shithousery is brilliant, my answer to that is when you start raving about people's shithousery, that means they are shit.
Yeah. Like
But-
Bergvall, I think, has got a bit of shithousery about him.
But he's
But he
not
looks
shit.
like a player,
Yeah.
right? I don't mind shithousery on top of good stuff, right?
Yeah.
So, no, sorry about that.
So Dave,
anything else you want to cover off, Gibbo?
no, I think I was just going to say we're back next week.
We are. So, in the spirit of this, we've tried to have our first ever guest on this week. Unfortunately, he's not been able to make it. And following on from deleting last week's episode, so we're going to do the out. We're going to go in a minute, and we're going to do the outro and be very, very careful. I'm not saying a word for at least until I'm at work.
But yeah, I mean, but that sums up the show, doesn't it? What happened last week? After the end of the show, we had to delete it.
And now we tried to get our first guest on.
Yes.
Unfortunately, he couldn't make it. So
Yeah.
it's going well.
But that's what it's all about. And great comments, people interacting. That's all we want, isn't it, Dave? It's just literally somewhere for people to come, get a bit of Spurs content, have a laugh about it. We're creating a safe space for people who don't deserve Sonny. Okay. Yeah. This is a safe space for people who want to have their own opinions and don't want to get chastised for them.
No. So all we're asking, if you can like, subscribe, send this out to friends, enemies, whatever, and get people just to, we'd like to get the numbers of this show. We had a peak of 800 views.
Yeah.
And we would have done well on the views last week, but we deleted it. So, so if you can support us, that would be great. That's it. I think we're good. We're good. We can go now.
I think we're good. As always, Dave, come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.